What is going on, people? I'm Greg.
I'm John.
We're the Real Rejects, the best YouTube channel to watch until Blindwave puts their reaction up. Guys, we're gonna watch Loki episode 3 today. Let the multiverse of madness commence, we think.
It certainly looks that way.
Certainly looked that way from the last episode, right? I'm very excited to find out what's going on. Guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe and click that notification for Blindwave's channel. Also, while you're at it, why don't you go down to the comments, hit that like button for Blindwave when their video's up, or just hit our like button to show your support for Blindwave. Also, by the way, full-length watch-alongs, kind of like what Blindwave does, are over at our Patreon page for Loki. And over at our Patreon, we also have many shows where at the same tier you get the option for both reaction highlights and watch-alongs included. And last but not least, gotta thank our editor, Pratham Jindal, for putting these highlights together for us so last second. I'm glad you prioritize us over Blindwave's reaction.
It's integral to our success.
It's difficult to keep up with them.
We could do potato skins, or
we could eat somewhere else.
Oh.
Oh God. Ah, brain freeze.
You know what brain freeze is, don't you? So it permeates the roof of your mouth and freezes the synapses in your brain, so your memories are literally frozen in place.
I feel like this information will come in handy.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and you won't be able to tell me the answer until your synapses have melted.
We should do this sometime.
Yeah, I know. The brain freeze challenge.
How many people are guarding the timekeepers?
Sorry, what?
Oh! Oh, she's in her mind. I get it. Okay.
How do I find the elevators?
They're gold.
That's a hell of a power.
Yeah. Wonder how long it feels like that was happening for her.
So, like, what? They were friends before? What's happening?
Oh,
My mom was just starting to wreck itself. What is happening?
Or did she body snatch her best friend's body?
Oh, we kicking things off.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, powers don't work here.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Who needs powers, right? Oh. Got stardusted.
He just followed her right back. I thought he was. That's not realizing it. Oh, that's right.
Nice.
Yes.
Coming in handy, B-15.
Oh, I'm so excited. Dude, that elbow's the movie.
Come willingly. Or you won't. Either way, that's how I get to be the timekeepers.
Hey!
Oh, no. Here we go.
Come any closer and I'll kill him.
Go for it.
I don't think she'd care.
Yeah, not at all. Whoa!
You need to get more plutonium.
Just give it back to me. You don't even know how to recharge it.
Not the only tech savvy Loki.
Don't ever call me that.
Tech savvy?
No, a Loki.
Is that one of your powers?
Where did you send us?
I recognize this from the trailer.
Lamentis 1. Sounds like a sad place to be. Nice.
Of all of the apocalypses saved on that temp, this is the worst.
God, I gotta buy this soundtrack.
I know.
Ooh, so good. So good.
Up in the music game.
I want to so small.
Oh, let's get a little Variant action.
Yeah, do yourself. Yeah. No worky.
What's he doing?
What are you doing?
It won't work.
Why? Because you're a magician.
No, because my mind is too strong.
There's power somewhere on this moon. We just need enough of it to travel through interdimensional time and space.
I like her.
I do too. Not a bad Loki variant.
Slow down, Variant.
Don't call me Variant.
I'm sorry, but I'm not calling some faded photocopy of me Loki.
Good, because that's not who I am anymore. I'm Sylvie now.
Oh, you changed your name?
What exactly makes a Loki a Loki?
That's the question. This planet looks awful.
Looks like a Fallout game.
Collapse of society in the face of annihilation.
This is like a Star Wars set.
Yeah. Wonder if they're using that screen tech too.
This is the moon that Thanos is throwing at Tony Stark right now.
Yeah, just over that way. Love the colorations though.
Like Thanos purple.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Kill Bill Volume 2.
Despite my acquaintance behaving like an animal, we mean you no harm. We're simply weary travelers. Hello, dear.
Oh no.
Patrice?
Oh.
It's been a long time. You're as beautiful as I
Yep.
Not seeing through that.
Patrice never said a thing that nice in 30 years. What do you devils want with me?
Devils.
Where is everyone?
Mephisto.
The Ark, the evacuation vessel.
Something like that would have enough juice to repower the temper.
How do we get there?
Train station's the edge of town, but you'll never get a ticket.
They got
Magic
southern
ticket.
accents on this planet.
Yeah, this is in the south of all time and space. Marvel Cosmic.
I bet one of these people is a special cameo.
We're doing this one my way. Just follow my lead.
No one's like, I've never seen you around here before.
Yeah. I don't got time for facial recognition. You got the uniform, you're fine. That's what uniforms are for.
Whoa, hey!
Taking this one to Sharu.
And the tickets?
Orders come from the top to get her on this train.
Sir, this... Everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, I just remembered that headquarters radioed in the request for them this morning.
Okay.
So delighted.
Oh, all those poor people.
This apocalypse will be dead anyway.
Classism.
Someone taught you fairly decent magic.
My mother.
What was she like?
She was
I like that.
a queen of Asgard. She was good, purely decent.
Are you sure she was your mother?
No, she's not actually. I was adopted. Is that a bit of a spoiler for you?
I knew I was adopted.
What? They told you?
Yeah. Did they not tell you?
No.
Oh no.
Tell me about your mother.
I barely remember. Just blips of a dream at this point.
You know, when I was young, she'd do these little bits of magic for me.
Cool.
Aww.
Not bad.
A little bit of emotion in there.
And pity the old woman chose to die, don't you think?
She was in love.
She hated him.
Maybe love is hate.
Remember that. Love is hate.
Oh, piss off.
So, on the subject of love, is there lucky bow waiting for you at the end of this crusade?
Managed to maintain quite a serious long-distance relationship with a postman whilst running across time from one apocalypse to another. How about you? You're a prince. Must have been would-be princesses, or perhaps another prince.
Ooh. Oh my god, the implication.
It's Pride Month.
A bit of both. I suspect the same as you. But nothing ever...
Real. Love is mischief, then.
No. Love is...
They don't know.
something I might have to have another drink to think about.
Love is all around you.
You do realize we're about to try and hijack the power source to a civilization's only hope.
I do.
It's not going to be easy. We should rest.
All right? You relax your way, and I'll relax mine.
By having a stare.
Damn. This David Lynch planet is freaking settling.
The spice.
Look at that. Damn.
Wow.
So much dread.
I know.
When she sings, she sings, come home. When she sings, she sings, come home. Men. He storms Svartafjell.
Oh, it's so great to see this.
I know. His inner Asgardian coming out.
Yeah.
Another!
Oh, one of the best moments
He
in
did
that
it.
movie.
Don't be an arse. I saw some people looking at you weirdly.
What?
Fight scene.
Why'd you get so paranoid?
Oh, I guess it must have started when I spent my entire life running from the omniscient fascists you work for.
Is she born a variant? Oh, okay.
Stay calm.
It's gonna be fine.
Sir, can I see your tickets?
You again. Hello. Tickets. Here they are.
No.
Oops. Still, it looks lovely, doesn't it?
He needs some psychic paper.
A simple explanation. Hey. Hey.
Get out of the way!
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh!
Cool. Oh. Love this Norse warrior-like music. Yeah.
Oh, will you stop it?
Oh, poor guy.
No! No!
All she cared about was that.
Oh no.
That was such a great reaction.
Oh, bad news.
Well, that's not ideal.
Give me the 10 pound.
All right.
You killed us.
Maybe we can fix it. Okay.
And that planet is about to crash into us.
Well, the entire moon is destroyed, right?
Yep, and everyone on it is killed.
Including us.
Yes, including us.
What about the Ark?
The Ark never leaves because it's destroyed.
Never had us on it.
Branch timeline.
So what, we hijack the Ark and make sure it gets off this moon?
Hey.
It sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay.
I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you might as well try.
Wild.
You want to know how enchantment works? I have to make physical contact and then grab hold of their mind. In order to preserve the connection, I have to create a fantasy from their memories. That young soldier from the TVA, her mind was messed up. I had to pull a memory from hundreds of years prior, before she even fought for them.
What? What did you say? Before she joined the TVA?
Yeah, she was just a regular person on Earth.
A regular person?
Oh.
I was told that everyone who works at the TVA was created by the Timekeepers.
That's ridiculous. They're all variants, just like us.
They don't know
Oh no! Somewhere Mobius is riding a jet ski right now.
that. They're gonna let these people die.
We have to get on that Ark and make sure it takes off.
How?
We go round.
Are we entering a one-shot?
Oh.
Oh, nipple chills.
Oh no. Ooh.
Damn, this is brilliantly captured.
Really cool shot, yeah.
It's like a demented maze.
Yeah, it's like if like one of those neon haunted houses was a whole planet. Oh.
Wow, is he that strong with those powers? What?
Yeah, the telekinesis. It doesn't stop at Roombas.
They did the same fight move.
Sylvie, come on!
God, what a sequence.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Wow.
What if just the next 3 episodes are just stranded on this planet?
Just dying slowly.
Yeah. They just become a bitter couple.
Yeah, just the two of them. It's like the end of The Thing, just sitting across from each other waiting to die. As moon rocks rain down.
I'm a sucker for a good one take.
Oh, yeah.
Even when it's not a
Even
real
when you
one
can tell
take.
where the stitches are.
But to make you believe it.
It's a one take.
To emotionally encompass you in a way that has you feeling like you're there in the real-time moment of a one take.
Still had to take a lot of planning and a lot of tight execution.
Was she born a variant?
I don't...
Because she said she's been running from them her whole life.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe she was born a girl and like
that's
from
why
that
she's
very...
so much... Yeah.
Yeah, and like maybe because of that, that's why she's so...
oh, damn. Look at the... There's different credits in here, too.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. This is just like different stuff.
Tidy timeline.
But yeah, is that like...
Yeah, it's like maybe just in being born female, that was not what was preordained. So yeah, maybe that's also what informs her not wanting to be called Loki.
There's like new shit in here.
All right. That was a hell of an episode right there. A hell of an episode. I can't remember who specifically said it, but someone did predict. I wish I could give credit to whom, but they did say that they thought that the third one would be more calm, and then the fourth, fifth, and sixth one would be the ones that get like crazy.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, you know. I think a lot of people were like, maybe it's gonna get multiverse madness crazy this time, but apparently not. But damn, there's some big reveals in here, though. I mean, the biggest reveal, though, easily the biggest reveal. Loki's bisexual,
Yeah,
guys. What the hell? Where did this come
It's a
from?
momentous day for the MCU.
Oh my goodness. Who would have thunk it?
Queer icon Loki finally ascending to his rightful mantle.
I mean, yeah. I was like, cool. I could see it.
Absolutely. If anybody in this universe ought to be, it's probably Loki.
Him and Mobius going to be sailing off into the sunset on a jet ski by the end.
That's right, man. I want 10 Mobiuses on 10 jet skis.
Oh, man. I hope. That'd be cool. And then I really got to commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
I really got to be... They got to have Tom Hiddleston making out with someone handsome. It's Hulk. He's really into Hulk.
Yeah. Well,
that's
this
Loki's into.
I was afraid there was going to be a joke where she was like, "Oh yeah, I got this scientist back home that I've been waiting to get back to."
Okay, so to me, the best part of this, I mean, obviously the big reveal. I think the biggest reveal they reserve for the end, or close to, is that everyone at the TVA are also variants. Now, a lot of us were kind of thinking, and by a lot of us, I mean someone else had said it, and then I really believed it.
That's how it all starts.
Is that Mobius, when they were talking in the last episode, Renslayer, how there was another ring, and the other analyst, who?
Yeah.
That it was probably a variant, or maybe he's the variant, which one. I did not see it coming at all that, like, everyone's a variant.
Yeah.
That's a big one, because the timekeepers, or if there really are even timekeepers.
Yeah. It's such a sinister implication, because then it's like, okay, so instead of doing what you said you're doing, going around and fixing and pruning all these timelines, what you're really doing is just taking a bunch of people who've created Nexus events and forcing them somehow to, like, indoctrinating them in some kind of way where they don't remember their old life, and then they just work for you forever.
It's messed up stuff. Like the timekeepers, you do kind of get this religious vibe from them.
It's like a cult, like people who grew up on a cult compound.
People that believe this, but a lot of them haven't even seen the actual physical evidence of it. So maybe there are no time. There's obviously, especially when they actually go there to the point where the TVA is, how they lose their powers, and they do have this whole system going. So clearly there's something in charge. Maybe the theories about how Renslayer is probably maybe with King the Conqueror. Maybe that's all true. All right. Maybe there's something there. Bottom line is, this just confirms further that a lot of people are believing a lie right now. It's a fascinating concept to explore, and so that's definitely I think that was a very intentional clue in the last episode to come to hear that the Mobius we're hanging out with is a variant who he probably before Mobius was taken, he was probably riding jet skis.
That's
damn it,
right. He was probably a jet ski dealer. He probably had his own dealership.
He probably invented the jet ski.
No wonder he reveres the technology so much.
Wow. So there's this whole I love that, and it makes you. Owen Wilson's not even in this, and I'm like, you find yourself talking about it. Oh man, it makes sense. Where there's a bit of like that depression or yearning to experience life. I bet they all are.
Well, and it creates a new layer for us, the audience, I think, in our relationship to Mobius, as well as I think Loki's relationship to Mobius, because now he's realizing he's like the one person out of all the TVA who he does kind of get on with, and then you can see how there might form some kind of pity in there because of what he had to grapple with in the first episode about his own place in the universe. I imagine Mobius being in a similar position once the truth comes to him, and so I can see an inroad now for them to remain buds as the shit continues to hit the fan.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite scene, my favorite shot in this whole episode, visually beautiful. Were there some obvious green screen moments? Yeah, there were some obvious, or whatever the technology is. Maybe I think it's fair to assume they used that Mandalorian technology.
Yeah.
Probably did. Were there some obvious shots? Sure, especially sometimes where it was Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, you can see the edges.
Yeah, but for the most part, for this Lamentis one planet that they have created for us, it looked damn striking. This dread atmosphere throughout, just incredibly hollow and bleak. Thinking of old school Ridley Scott, a little bit of Kubrick, a little bit of Lynch, a little bit of Spielberg AI, which is kind of like a riff on Kubrick. So, having all that encompassed here with just gorgeous cinematography and the purple shading and landscape. I loved it. The atmosphere is just such sci-fi horror. Even though it's not like a horror episode, the atmosphere itself, you can feel the horror. And I love the way it looked. And the one shot at the end, which we did touch on already, was great. But my favorite scene is the scene where they're sitting down together at the train. There were some parts in their banter or their equipping back and forth. As much as I was really liking her, what is the actress's name who plays her? Whatever, Sylvie. As much as I like the actress who plays Sylvie, sorry for not knowing her name right now. Sophia something? No, okay. Sylvie.
You're on the right track.
Yeah. Her performance, I was loving from beginning to end already. There were some parts in their equipping and back and forth that I was feeling a little bit kind of pushed, a little, I don't know if the right word is forced, because that sounds too aggressive, but there was something about it that wasn't feeling as natural. I could feel the writing there, basically, of this is what they're starting off as. Eventually it started to become much smoother. I think it was around the time when they whoever the woman is that shot Sylvie and then shot him too, which is an element I love because it's not like the most important scene, but it gives a real lived-in vibe of this planet. Like this whole planet, as much as you're not exploring all of it, you're watching it literally in its final moments. It feels very lived in. Sorry, John. Yes.
It made me think of what you said about it feeling like a Star Wars planet because it felt like a little side moment out of a Star Wars show where they come across, some hermit person who is there to, help them understand the world a bit more, but also to flesh out, the aesthetic of where we are and why.
Well, yeah, even just tonally, yes, and then even environmentally. Even with the planet and the background falling apart. It looked at the moon. That it did aesthetically look that way. Yeah. But my favorite moment is the conversation that they are having in the train when things finally begin to calm down, when they think they're going to the safe spot. That conversation was probably the most telling to me because that's the most rich elements of character. I love how they've kept the presence of Frigga alive in all these episodes. Clearly, there's like Frigga loved him, you know? Frigga freaking loved him. She did. Whereas this version of Loki don't get along with bro, and also Odin as well, and the betrayal of learning that he's really a frost giant. All these things are so fresh for him at this moment. He didn't get to have all the character arcs and the experiences that we saw in Ragnarok and such. So this version of Loki, what he really has is his mom, and then the feeling that yearning for it. And I loved how there was this beat. There's a lot of great nuances in the reaction moments of how they play off each other. That's the brilliance of their acting together. The show has delivered amazing, just spontaneous scene acting that I love. Terrific stuff. And when the conversation of the mother gets brought up, and there's such a different tonal switch between them. And that's where you start to really uncover that Sylvie sounds like she just had a completely different upbringing versus what he had. He at least had Frigga. He at least was a prince. He had a certain life that was a bit lavish and had, even though he was struggling to fit in, he was the Cain to the Cain and Abel situation. Sounds like she still had it worse. Regardless of everything. So when it gets to the mother part and how, the way she inquires about it, it's almost as if she's interested in living vicariously through him in that moment. And then you start to really see that, oh, damn, this is the time where the only people who could maybe understand each other are you guys, you variants, the Loki variant specifically. You two would be the only ones who could really get what you guys are going through. And then that really works psychologically and, just scripting wise, going off of the first episode, when you just see this guy's alone, Loki is alone. And then having that scene there where they do start getting more personal and they have this conversation about what is love. Made me think about Interstellar, and that is just a belief that I have about love is the connecting energy through us all. But trying to understand love, I'm like, oh, these guys have never experienced real love before. Yeah. So that to me was the best scene in this whole episode. I loved it, and so while there's some cool reveals and commentary, that right there was the most telling of the characters for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was the next layer of things. This show has been giving me all sorts of things that I was hoping the MCU would jump into, but this episode, proved itself to be interesting in the sense that, off the last episode, I was thinking this would be some kind of, big back and forth of you got the TVA people trying to figure everything out, and then you got Loki and you got Sylvie and everything going on, but this almost took a much keener sense of focus, and I loved that they did that because it gives you distance from Mobius and all of them. It makes the world feel bigger and broader, and it gives us anticipation to get them back, but that scene in the middle really does, or 3/4 of the way or whatever it is, feels like the centerpiece of the episode. And even the way the cinematography sort of shifts in that moment and gets much more intimate towards them, it gave me that kind of scene, that quiet connective scene that I was kind of hoping to see. And something that I think is a great point is that they are two people who are so different, but they are truly the same coin in a lot of ways. And so, yeah, they can both size each other up, but also probably have really different experiences to the point that they can probably help each other grow a bit as characters and whatnot. And so, yeah, to see all those emotional nuances and to really feel while you're watching it like, oh, I can tell just by how this is constructed that we're sinking into a scene and we're taking time to really care about and explore the characters and let them breathe. And that whole scene where he's singing, you know, and she wakes up to that, and they have, you know, your stakes and your elements of like, people are looking at you funny and this is going to get us in trouble. But at the same time, that scene plays long enough and they let that song stand on its own enough that it also just reads as an authentic sort of moment of catharsis for our Loki, and a connection to his not humanity, but, you know, that essence of, you know, who this person really is and what's important to him, even in a moment of celebration and, you know, hedonism.
Well, he had culture. He still had family. You know, he still had all that. It just seems like she, you know, the hints that you get are kind of like she's stripped from that. What I mean by how she, like, born a variant, she says she's running away from their whole lives. And it's like Loki became a variant. Like, I don't really know exactly how to apply the terminology here, because Loki became a variant when he picked up the Tesseract and left. Yeah. You know, he was supposed to stay on the sacred timeline. She sounds like she's been doing this, like, for so long, and you know,
it almost seemed to me like just her being born, her was the mistake. Variation. And so it seems like, maybe just from the very beginning of her life, the TVA has been in some way pursuing her.
That's the vibe I get.
And then I'm like, who protected? Like, how did you make it this far, and who protected you? And, you know, who Moses'd you off into space somewhere to hide from these people?
But she brings the charm, she brings the humor, and then her scenes with Tom Hiddleston are great. And that's Loki's singing scene was really powerful stuff. And also, I think with like this isn't the first thing to do it, but with like the Lamentis planet, I'm no expert in this conversation. Okay, what I'm about to touch on, I've only really heard other people talk about it, and I've been fascinated by hearing other people talk about it, but it's not something I'm well imbued in. Okay, but the vibe that I was getting when watching this is like, I've been hearing the talks lately about like how, you know, because our planet is dying, because it's probably going to be dead pretty soon.
That's 7 years.
And so, you know, you got like the really wealthy people who are like figuring out space travel, trying to get to another planet.
Jeffrey Bezos, Elon Musk,
you know,
and some other, Warren Buffett, got Virgin Galactic.
Building it for the rich, while the poor, or the people who are just not freaking mega wealthy, are going to be left behind, right, to on this planet to die. And I really got the impression that that's kind of what they were commenting on here with their planet. You know, like I said, no expert in this subject, not trying to get all political. I'm just saying that's a bit of context that I picked up on.
But it seems like no mistake that especially while they're on that train, even they should wind up in the luxury car with people playing music, and like, what, you realize where you're headed right now and what's going on around you.
And then with the class issues, I was thinking of Snowpiercer, which did a whole thing about classism on train. So like immediately that's where my mind was going. And I thought the production design of this was awesome. The music was like, it's the first two episodes were shared similar kind of music, and this one it still kept that sci-fi, synth, dread, Norse like warrior music, but you got a lot more of that of the pulsating tribal mix in there. It's nice that the show really goes out of its way to remind you, like, he's a Norse god. You know, they have a Norse background, and sometimes it's easy to forget about that when you're caught up in all the sci-fi stuff that your mind doesn't really go to the fantasy stuff as often. When you're like, oh, that's right, you're from the fantasy. Like, this is more of a sci-fi show than it is a fantasy, and which, you know, it's technically kind of whatever. We won't get into semantics. You know what I mean, genre-wise.
Fantasy epic.
Having those scenes, I think, are so grand. So yeah, I mean, I thought this was a wonderful, wonderful episode. And I don't know how, I honestly don't know how fans, like, literally my only complaint is that there were times in the beginning, just really early on, I'm saying like the first few minutes, where I was feeling sometimes it was a little bit like, yeah, I get what you're doing. You know, they got to be bickering, they got to be at odds. I get it. But some of that didn't feel so smooth or natural. But that was very brief. That's minor. It's not a takeaway because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be like their frustrations, seeing their differences, their styles, everything about them.
Yeah, it's like it starts out and you go, okay, odd couple, I get it. And then after a while, once they really start to develop, that odd couple shtick works a lot better.
Yes. And then, of course, like the whole thing with the Enchantress stuff with, because it seems like she's a combination of a variation of like of Lady Loki, like she is a Loki, but they're applying kind of the Sylvie Enchantress into her.
She's almost going to create this persona to get away from being Loki or something.
Yeah, like Loki became Sylvie, who really mastered this magic stuff of being able to mind control. And it's pretty crazy how it's like delves into, I don't know, she might be able to like free mind. She's kind of like a Neo situation in a way. If she can be able to free all the variants' minds at the TVA of helping them remember.
That would be cool, yeah. To because they made so much about learning the power and how much you know how grand of a power it is to have, and so I could see them developing that further. Of like, you got to take this one step beyond and help all these people, these poor people who have been here for hundreds of years.
And she said her mom is like a blip in her memory. Oh my God, the blip.
It's an Easter egg.
All right, guys, listen. I thought this was a great. It was more like the. I think people. I think with audiences today, they could go for an episode like this.
Yeah, it's a calm before the storm, and there's lots of still cool science fiction stuff happening. Like it's still got a lot of intrigue, and it's still got stakes and pulse. You know,
I think they'll have to somehow do something that alerts the TVA to find them. Like they need to get caught.
Or something,
because how the hell are they going to get off this planet? Yeah,
because I mean, and as of the last episode, it's like it doesn't seem like causing chaos will help because it seems like the trajectory of this planet on the timeline is right on course. So it does maneuver. I thought it was interesting that they would use this episode to maneuver us into a place of like, we all know the two of them aren't going to die, but for all they know, they're going to die.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it would be actually a neat callback if they do try to figure out a way to get captured, but making it part of their plan, kind of like what Loki did in the first Avengers movie. I think that'd be neat.
Ooh.
Like we're going to take a page out of the old book. All right, guys. Well, what did we not talk about that is pissing you off that we did not mention? Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe. Click that bell. Tell us anything that we got wrong. Tell us anything that you think we got wrong. Tell us whatever you want. Compliment, too, if you feel like it. Watch this 40-minute video and only point out one thing in your comments that just really you didn't like. I love those. Hey, subscribe, click the notification bell, hit that like button. Thanks to Pratham for editing the highlights down for us. It's been a pleasure working with you, buddy. And keep a lookout for a reaction to New Rockstars, which EA Voss encourages us to do. Wink. Hopefully you're enjoying heavy spoilers video right now instead. Woo!